What up, you cool cats and kittens? Fangirlz Assemble. I don't know what episode it is, 86 or something.
107.
Isn't that weird?
I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird. Weird.
Eventually, we're gonna reach 100, and that's really weird.
Yeah.
And we'll have to do something about it.
I know, and I'm surprised we're that close to having to do something about it.
I know.
It's weird.
I guess it's an accomplishment, but I do feel really weird about it.
I agree. I'm with you. You know what I don't feel weird about?
What?
Still supporting InStockTrades.com. Our great sponsor, and you guys should not feel weird about that either, because they're the best, and you should go get all the books from them. They ship them amazingly well. We've all experienced other people shipping. It doesn't compare. That's just the truth.
And in this dark time, we can always depend on them, you know?
Always.
You know, the world is full of uncertainty, but not within StockTrades.com.
That's right.
What you're going to get.
100%.
Plain and simple. Up
you're
to 42%, sometimes 50% off.
Yep.
Spend $50, you get free shipping in the US. If not, you spend like $4, like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, truly, $4 flat rate in the United States. It's amazing.
And if you're able to treat yourself right now, then, I mean, what a better way.
I mean, the best way.
To do it. And you can't get the books we're talking about today, but...
But you can get other delightful Buffy comics. We both endorse the new Boom series. You can get the first 2 trades right now. I think the second one's out, right? I think?
Yeah, it's out.
Okay. First 2 trades, totally worth it. Boom has really nice trades. So don't be stingy about the trades. Get them.
Oh, yeah. And they're releasing, you know, all of the legacy editions, which I've been pre-ordering so far and getting in. I still really like them. I do take it back. There is some of season 9 on in-stock trades, but it is in trade form, and there's like 1.
So if you really want to, and then you can hunt the other ones down once the comic shops open back up, I'm sure they're on some shelves somewhere.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's always funny to see like who ends up finding these library editions in their like comic book store. I mean, that's how I got some of mine when I was looking, was just like reaching out to like people in the Omnibus Collectors group, like, hey guys, I'm looking for these. And everyone's always really receptive. You know, like, thank God for them, because I had no idea.
Totally. So that is an option, because these are beautiful library editions that we will be talking about today. As always, you know, they're so pretty. She got the amazing covers, nice back. Oh, great spines. Love the ribbon. And of course, they're fantastic underneath. This is one of my favorites. I love this cover.
Oh, my God.
It's beautiful.
So good.
So good, guys. So good.
Hey, Freddie.
Hi, Freddie.
And hey, Lionheart. Although you made a typo.
Are you Amanda today?
I am not Amanda today.
What's funny is people usually think I'm Amanda, or they're like, "You're that other girl." Who are you?
Or they're like, "Why? There's a show without you on it, and Maddie's on it. Why aren't you there? Are you okay?"
Someone asked me the other day why I wasn't on Near Mint Condition lately, and I'm like, "Because I'm not on that channel." What?
If Kristin lived on my side of the state, she would have no choice.
I would love it too. It would be great.
I know.
Although right now it's very easy to join it.
Oh, that's true, because I don't see any of those people.
Yeah.
In real life. Well, so for those of you, I mean, it's very unlikely we're getting somebody new joining us tonight, but in case there are, or you're watching this later and you're new, Krista and I have been reading through Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, the comics. And we've been doing a readathon. We said we were going to do it forever, and we've finally doing it, and we've been consistent. This is the 4th month we've done
sticking to it. And we should be specific. These are the Dark Horse comics of the seasons. Yeah. So not the really early Dark Horse, not the current Boom in the middle of those. The actual canon seasons is what we're jumping into.
So to condense this, instead of reading things that were going on during the series or non-canon things, we decided to stick to what comic books occur after the shows ended. And we're on our 4th month of that, which means we are on Buffy and Angel and Faith season 9. So we read all of it. And honestly, again, pretty quick reads. Like,
I found them to be so quick because I was so into it.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Because I read these back when they came out, but it's been a long time. It's been many years. So I kind of forgot it all. I remembered some things. There was quite a big thing that was throughout all of Angel and Faith, for instance. Of course, I remembered that. Yeah. But man, it just feels like you're binging a TV show. That's what it felt like, you know?
Absolutely. Like, I read all these today, and I averaged about, like, I don't know, 30 minutes per library edition.
Oh, wow. I couldn't do that.
But, like, yeah, it just moved so quickly. Like, it's wild. Yeah, and you know, we were saying before the show, like Chris said just now, it absolutely feels just like the show. You know, and we've read the IDW stuff with Angel, and we've read season 8. But I think, honestly, this season, even more than season 8.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think especially more than season 8 feels just directly like the TV show.
I 100% agree. And I was telling Maddie right before this, because we were both gushing. We both loved it. Spoiler. We both loved it. But I think for sure, Angel and Faith season 9, I loved more than the entire series of Angel, which I love. So it's saying a lot. It was just so good. Their dynamic together, which I already liked both characters. I love Faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Angel. But you know, he's a pretty boy, okay? He's, you know, he can have his moments, but their dynamic together was perfect. It was fantastic.
I agree. I really, really like them together. And for those of you who may be wondering, because Buffy and Angel, you know, those are both series that can be really angsty, can be a lot of romance heavy. But just for like a spoiler for you guys, if you haven't read these and you were thinking about getting into them, season 9 is not big on the romance. Finally, it's not big on the like will they, won't they. You don't see that in this, which is very surprising and kind of nice. And I love Buffy chips.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. But you did not have to deal with that in here. Not really.
No, there were maybe tiny sprinkle mentions.
Yeah, but not really the whole deal. Hey, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Give my call to everybody. Yeah, and it's Maddie and Tina. You can see the glasses.
What's up?
Also, can we talk about how great Kristen's shirt is right now?
Oh my gosh, guys.
I'm so jealous.
What does it say? It says something. Work hard, sleep harder. You know, I could do without the text, but it's still really cute. It's a Funko shirt. It was like very cheap.
I really like it. I've been tempted to like impulse buy the long sleeve Yoda shirt or a Baby Yoda shirt that's on like the Disney store.
Oh, they have some good stuff.
Yeah.
It's
all good, Lionheart.
Hi, Hayden.
We have 2 people asking. Hey, thanks for joining live, Hunter.
Yeah, thank you.
Doing pretty good. I think I had a little sad day today because I think everything finally hit. Like I've been doing really well since all of this started. You know, it's been over a month for me just living in here. And it hit me today pretty bad. So I ordered a bunch of pizza. Watched a couple episodes of
That's the answer.
Parks and Rec, and then finished reading Buffy and Angel. And
that's all you need, really. That is a great medicine. Love it.
Oh, yeah. And I get to top it off with hanging out with Kristin, which is one of the treats of quarantine. And and in my regular life anyways, but an extra in quarantine.
See, I like to come in here and forget that I have to go to work tomorrow. You know, I'm trying.
Well, same. I'm just like, tomorrow's like this. Hayden says, Joss said that with season 9, he wanted to bring everything back down to the same level and tone as the shows. That shows for sure in this.
Yeah, because there were things in season 8, which, you know, I love season 8, but there were things that they definitely couldn't have done on TV. And I know Joss said a lot. That was the point of the comic, right? Things that can't be done. I feel like everything in this could have been done, which was a great change. Because, you know, you didn't have Giant Dawn, which could be done now, but back then, not so much, you know?
Yeah, it feels like they just like went really hard on it. You know, they were like, okay, we're in comics. We can do whatever we want now. We're going to do everything. And I think that felt that way in IDW Angel as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're really hitting the stride with this series right now. And I've never read it before this like season. Because I read Buffy season 8 forever ago. This is my first time reading it, and oh man, it's such a treat.
And again, both of them were so great. Rebecca Isaacs on the art in Angel and Faith,
so good. I like the art in Angel and Faith better than Buffy in this one.
I would agree. I really like her art anyway, but yeah, her art in this, like the likeness of everyone was just perfect.
Very good.
I'm trying to get some good examples for you guys.
Man, I just again.
Oh yeah, they're so good. They're so good.
Before we first of all, I know we're talking about Angel, but I saw this in my eyesight, and this cover of
I
Buffy
love
Still blows me away. Okay, continue.
Yeah, this was like just a great, like Faith's expressions were just so Eliza Dushku that I was like, yeah, this is perfect. Yeah. I mean, but still like her unique art style, it's so good. It was so good throughout the whole thing.
Absolutely.
It never faltered.
Mm-mm.
You know, we got introduced.
An Angel looks like Angel. Like,
yeah.
Can you believe it? They did it.
They did it. They can do it.
Which seems like not a complicated thing, but we've,
coming from Angel after the fall. Oof.
We've read a lot of Angel comics.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't get their likenesses right.
Yeah.
And they did it well. And we've talked a lot, like, part of the reasons why I've always praised Boom Buffy is that I felt like they did that Dan Mora, who I already love anyways, did such a good job of doing a comic book style, but still making all those characters recognizable.
Yeah.
Which is difficult because some people go too into the realism and it hurts the art. The art suffers. But man, Angel and Faith season 9 killed it.
Good.
Completely. And even when they had like changed artists, it's still like
Yeah. I mean, it was great throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah. So pleased.
But yeah, it is very nice coming from Angel after the fall to see someone doing right by Angel's face. Like, he looks like Angel. What a joy.
I should warn you guys, we won't probably go heavy into spoilers, but there will be some. I don't think it'll be enough that it'll ruin reading this for you at all. But as always, there's gonna be some spoilers for the Buffy TV show because it's after.
Yeah.
As well as spoilers for a few.
Yeah, so I'll say right now, if you guys are watching this and you haven't watched Buffy, go do that. Like,
yeah,
and go watch this if you want. By the time you get to this, maybe you'll forget. But
yeah, and these aren't read alone. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
I can't speak to this because I have this knowledge going in, but I will say again, still, as we've said, I think every show that we've done this, I can't guarantee you're going to enjoy this comic book unless you've watched the show and have a knowledge of it.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll get as much from it because there's always a lot going on. That being said, season 9 isn't as complicated as season 8, but there's still, older characters and themes that you're not going to be able to attach yourself to without it.
Well, and especially with these seasons, they're all out of print. Some you can still easily get, not in a row. Like, you're not going to easily get 1 and 2, for instance. So it's one of those things. If you're going to read this, there's a lot on Comixology Unlimited, and a lot you can buy on Comixology. Potentially other digital comic resources. Check into that. Otherwise, that's going to be hard
for season 8 too.
Yeah. Yeah, the finale would have to, yeah. So that's a big thing.
So I guess before we get really into it, how did you read this? Because I went like Buffy, Angel, Buffy, Angel, Buffy, Angel.
That's what I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it that way. I don't think you need to read both at the same time, but there is things going on in one that affect the other.
Yeah, especially like I'm trying to think of what it was, but there's something that like, I know what it was.
Stuff.
Yeah, or like when Spike left the Angelverse to go into the Buffy-verse.
Yeah.
We had just read that, but that was kind of nice because we kind of got to backtrack and see like what, so that still worked out.
Yeah.
So if you guys happen to have
talk
these...
about the other, because Faith mentions Kennedy. That's all happening in the Buffy stuff. Willow going back and forth, which I loved. Basically, Library Editions Volume 2 of each is like just Willow centric, which
tons
is
of Willow.
Yeah. But I did like reading it Buffy, Angel. I thought that felt pretty balanced.
Yeah, and the reason why Willow was around, okay, so here's some spoilers, but we're living in a world of Sunnydale and everywhere else. Sunnydale's gone, so not Sunnydale. But, the whole universe, these two are contained in. There's no magic. So last season, Buffy destroyed the seed, so there's no magic, and we are seeing tons and tons of repercussions because of that decision.
Oh, yeah, which is really interesting. Like, you've got demons stuck on Earth that can't go back to their like hellscape or whatever. And the Slayers have power, but no new slayers can be born.
Mm-hmm.
And it's negatively affecting vampires, right? So like
Yeah.
we learned that, after vampires are sired, new vampires, they look very different.
They look crazy.
Yeah, like zombies.
Mm-hmm. So they could start calling them zompires.
Yes, vampires. As well as just like, I mean, there's just, the list keeps going and going, but it's very interesting. And the whole big, like, huge Slayer alliance that was so prevalent in season 8 is gone.
Yeah.
Which, leads us to a more normal life. Because last season was very, like, almost like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, which was cool. There was cool things about it for sure. But it also gave like all of the Slayers a purpose. It gave Buffy a chance to make good money, which is just an interesting thing. We experienced that in season 6 of Buffy when she started working at Double Meat Palace.
Which is still the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we got some of that. We're getting some of that in the later series too. Like she's having to work at a coffee shop. She has no actual skills that she can bring to the table. Yeah, she may have super strength. She can't tell people that. Like, there's a complication there, but she still has to pay her rent. Like,
and student loans.
Yeah.
From a college she didn't even finish.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't even graduate.
No. Which is sad.
Man.
Yeah. So we get to experience these real life things that it's like, oh man, Buffy's our hero. She's amazing, but oh yeah, like she has to make a living and function, especially in a world without magic.
And in a world where everyone's mad at her for destroying the seed of magic.
So mad at her.
Everyone's pissed. The Slayers are pissed. Like, so she went from being this leader of this huge organization to just being like basically a nobody with no direction, which Buffy's always been good at doing. Like as in like the show, where like it'll go from like Buffy being the leader of everything to just having nothing.
Yeah, and like her best friend, Willow, is mad at her because now essentially Willow has nothing. That was her life. Her life was magic. There's a lot going on. And then one of my favorite complications throughout this, because my head kind of went there when I think I remember when I first read it, like her sister is made from magic, is made of magic. What happens there? So that's another thing that it's like, oh yeah, Dawn's a key. Like, yeah, she may be made of blood and stuff now, but she came here because of magic. She is magic. She needs magic to live. Yeah. And that was a really great part of that story. I love whenever, I'm trying not to ruin the whole thing, but like Spike ends up coming over and having a big moment. Spike and Dawn's relationship in the show, I always love.
So interesting.
Because it was always so sweet too. Like when he didn't have a soul,
Well, and I like that they talked about this too. There's a bit later with Spike and Angel while they're doing something. And they talk about the difference because there's something what they're doing with Angel because he's got another soul in his body that they're trying to deal with, and the possible repercussion that Angelus could be let out. And Spike is like, well, if anything like that happens to me, I'm fine. I was still fine without a soul.
Mm-hmm. Which is true.
It's just true.
Yeah, there were problems.
Lost his soul, he's still okay.
I mean, yeah, he tried to do some bad things, and there were problems, but
not Angelus level bad.
No, nothing is.
Oh,
right?
And then oh my god, we've got to talk about Drusilla.
Oh, Drusilla being sane.
Oh my god. Well, I never knew. I mean, I know we touched on it, but I didn't know to the degree which Angel tortured Drusilla before siring her, and he did on purpose. And I thought that was so interesting because when we see Drusilla throughout the series, she's just crazy. And I don't have a good reason for. I never had a good reason for it. I just knew she was.
I think they showed that in the show, like during some of those flashback episodes.
And I'm sure that they did, but I guess I don't think I ever caught on to how bad.
Yeah, because they really they go into that, and
which I loved.
Because he just saw her being all crazy anyway, and wanted to make her more crazy. Like
he saw this beautiful girl who did have visions, but I mean, you could see she's just beautiful. She's very well put together. She has a happy family and a faith. She's very into her her faith. I assume is Christian. Through the time period, he's like, I'm gonna make her my masterpiece, and he ruins her completely before siring her, and so she still ends up being crazy while she's a vampire. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, Angelus was like pure evil. He wasn't
Pure
just evil. He was like the worst.
Yeah.
You know, Spike gets a bad rep because he killed, what, 2 Slayers or something? But, like...
Can't even touch it.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Man, I just...
Should we catch up on some of these comments so we can keep going?
Oh, yeah. Let me look
I'm like trying, but we've been...
we're just getting so into it. We're having so much fun. I agree. If any of you are interested in like jumping into stuff, you can still find the Buffy Tales limited edition, library edition pretty easily, and it's
really nice. Yeah, it's really nice. There's tons of great creators. I got it over here. Tons of great creators involved. A lot of short stories about Slayers throughout the years and lifetimes. So I can go through that real quick.
And it's very readable.
Yeah, and just tons and tons of like, I mean, yeah, it's very rereadable. There's so many different stories about so many different Slayers. Tons of characters we know too pop up. But what I love the most is like there were a lot of creators that I didn't expect to know in it. A lot of big creators helped make stories in this. So it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's very nice.
Last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starts this week too. Excited and sad. You know, I watched maybe like 3 seasons and never finished it. Maybe I need to add that to my like binging options of the quarantine.
Seems like a good one to do.
Hayden said, as Joss always said, sad Buffy is best Buffy. He would feel that way.
Yeah, he wants to torture us all.
I am a fan of I'm a fan of seasons 1 through 5 of Supernatural. There are so many editions of season 8 on Amazon trays, library editions, and omnis.
Yeah, they came out with everything. There's paperback omnis. I think there's just 2 of those.
Hayden says Spike and Dawn is Cupid, so Spike and Joyce.
I mean, my favorite episode of season 3 is Lover's Walk. Oh. Because that is the one episode Spike comes back, and it's the one with the little marshmallows in his hot cocoa that he asked Joyce for. Joyce and Spike is the best.
Don't make me cry. I can't even think about Joyce.
Oh.
Kind of sucks that the Drusilla miniseries that followed that arc written by... Yeah.
Yeah, like... Because I enjoyed reading that, but I was also like, where's the rest? Like,
I wanted more, and I was trying to. I had a lot of fun just like thinking about what her voice normally sounds like, and trying to put that in my head to her talking like sane. I was like, man, I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to see this on TV.
Yeah, that Spike Drusilla miniseries would have been, especially if we had this. If we had all of this now, can you imagine how Buffy would be?
Oh man.
Because, you know, of course it's still great, it still holds up, but like the special effects we have now, how more interested people are in this genre, you know?
See, they should just do what a lot of other TV shows are doing and give us a good, like, I don't know, 2-hour special reunion.
Yeah, I'll take
doing
that.
Something.
Give us a movie.
Oh my god.
Just like Kamara's movie killed it. We'll kickstart it. I don't care if these vampires have aged. I will ignore that. I'm fine.
They easily do that. Well, and we got the technology now. They don't have to.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
We've got deepfake. They use that for everything. You know, like they could easily do that, and Buffy and Angel fans would absolutely fund it. No question.
I'm ready right now. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I got a credit card. Let's do this. Like,
come on. Yeah. What do you need? How much money do you have to spend to be on the movie? Probably more than I can afford or make in a year.
Probably.
But
like, it's worth it.
Oh man, there's just so much to talk about. I'm trying to think of all my favorite bits, and there's just like...
There's so many. And I want to bring this up because I brought this up before we started. But I think Maddie's on record with saying she didn't like Faith in the series. The TV series. I loved Faith in the TV series, but you have to admit, Angel and Faith season 9 made you a Faith fan, right?
Well, yeah, I love Faith in this.
Oh.
And I still think that if I went back and watched it now, I'd feel differently. Although I did watch it, I think I watched through Buffy maybe a few years ago. I feel like I'm just always watching through Buffy at some point. You know, I'm just like,
that's how I am. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, it's time now.
Yeah. Yeah, man, their dynamic was so good. They worked so well together. When I first saw that it was Angel and Faith together, I was like, I'm not really sure about that. Of course, that was granted before all this. I was like, I don't know. But reading this, I completely see why. And it's so wonderful because we don't have a lot of the whole Faith versus Buffy in there, which we always have to deal with. We have to deal with that in season 8 in a big way.
Yeah.
And we don't have any of that here. You know, and there's no, like we said before, there's no pushing the romance or of anything. There's no romantic connection between these two. And I'm so thankful because they could have done it.
They could have. You're right. They could have done that.
It would have been a Josh move.
So angry. Yeah.
And because in season 8, we got all sorts of romances and things that we were like, I'm not really sure about this. And I don't see why you were doing it. And they did not do that in this season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true.
Man, and with any character, really, like, we get one kind of a little romance that Buffy has, but honestly, I forgot that it was even a thing because they didn't really.
Well, and Willow has her, little thing, but that was also like away from it all in that miniseries. So,
right.
Yeah, and her and like Faith and Giles and their relationship, I loved.
And that was heartbreaking too because she just kept thinking about Giles and like, really grieving for him, and you could just see how much of a real father he was to her. Because throughout this season 9, and we see that a lot before, but she has a lot of problematic father figures in her life, highly problematic,
including her own father. Yeah,
who we see in this.
See this, yeah.
Who does exactly what you would think he would. But
disappointing.
I guess the biggest thing of season 9 for Angel and Faith, their whole story arc is just really trying to revive Giles. That's it. That's the whole thing. And I love it.
Yeah. Well, and I felt like that's such a season move too, right? Like I can so see that having actually been an entire like season arc, because it was perfect for that amount of issues and episodes. It would have been. And
I'm so thankful that they chose to do that in Angel and Faith and not Buffy. Weirdly, even though technically it would have suited Buffy. Like on paper, you would think, oh, well, this is a Buffy issue. That's a Buffy character. But I'm glad that it was these two.
Yeah, and they're dealing with a lot in both seasons, in both universes. But I love that characters in Angel reached out to Buffy characters, and they were all kind of like, we got our own thing going on. It's like we can't come help. It's cool. Which granted, Buffy didn't know about the Giles aspect until presumably the end, which is what is going to happen. Right. But I love that because they could have had them cross over more than they did, which there was some crossover, but they didn't feel the need to bring Buffy into Angel, which they so could have leaned on that in the comics. It would have been very easy, right? Same publisher, it's fine. But they didn't, which was great because she had her own issues, her own things going on.
And so it's not the time for that.
No.
It just really wasn't.
And I also love how Angel and Faith throughout this were kind of like, Faith was like, you're being selfish trying to bring Giles back. And Angel was like, maybe I am, but here's the deal. So there was actual discussion on the potential problematic aspect of even trying to do this, which I loved. Because they could have swept that under the rug and just been we're just going to do this. But they both kind of admitted, hey, we want him back. It's not.
And the insight they had on each other and that Faith had on Angel, I really enjoyed, because there's points throughout this where she really takes the time to think about him and think through why he does. And she's like, no matter what, Angel could have been a human. He had that option at the end of this, of before. It's always been the prophecy that he would do his work and then he'd be done. He could live a normal human life. But he doesn't do it. And she knows it's all because of his guilt that he carries, which is so Angel anyways, right? But the way she's like, I could stop him from helping Giles, but the guilt he has and that connection with Giles' death, he can't let that go. I can't stop him.
And she was even kind of like, this is his reason to keep going. Otherwise, he would just be sitting there staring at a wall, consumed in his guilt, because we saw some of that in this, right?
And saying that, the mirror imaging between this season in Buffy also, because Buffy's dealing a lot with she doesn't know how to stop being the Slayer and having that as her purpose. She just doesn't understand how to do it. She doesn't know how.
Yeah.
And Angel doesn't
That's
know
her
how to
life.
stop being guilty and trying to fix him, fix
Mhm.
things that he's done or make up. Because there's a thing, because Faith also says like he's already made up for Giles's death 10 times over before this, and yet he still is pushing on. Same way the Buffy.
Yeah.
Oh god,
They're all so good, guys.
it's so good. Man,
We're just gonna keep gushing about it because it's so great. Oh, and I do want to mention, I'm also on record of being a Connor hater. I hate Connor. However, he was briefly in this, a few issues, and he was great in this. This is how Connor should have been in the TV show.
Yeah,
he never should have been with Cordy.
I mean, the cute interactions between the two of them.
Yeah, so Connor keeps calling Angel, and Angel's ignoring him. Angel's like, "Oh, you're better off with the life without me in it," And Connor's living his normal life. He's going to college. He has a girlfriend. He's living his life, and he still wants to connect with his dad. But his dad's like, I'm only gonna hurt you, literally. Like demons will come into your life, broody Angel nonsense. And that played out so well. I love how that played out.
And that cute little "I love you, Dad" moment. He's like Connor. He said, "I love you too, Dad." You said what? Like, oh my god.
It was great. It's how, if you go back and read Angel After the Fall, 1, don't do it. We do not recommend this, okay? But
or
2,
just, read a synopsis.
Yeah, or read it if you want something really great after, which is literally this season was how it should have been. And this is how Connor should have been the entire time. I did enjoy Connor in this. It's shocking, I know.
So I also want to bring up, oh yeah, Gunn showed up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and J. August came out recently too, so good for J. August. That's awesome.
So I wanted to bring up what could be potentially a problematic thing to bring up, but I still want to talk about it anyways. The On Your Own storyline, where this is going to sound stupid after I've said no, this is super normal, where Buffy thinks she's pregnant.
Oh yeah,
and she talks to, I always forget his name, the guy who was the principal and a daughter of a Slayer
Robin Wood.
Principal Wood, who was the son of a Slayer that Spike killed.
Oh man, let's just pause right there though. That whole storyline in the series, I hated it so much. It made me so upset.
Well,
it was so upset.
What was sad about, because I liked it up until I found out what I found out about where basically she was, because it kind of negated the whole point of that story.
Yeah, right. Well,
and that was a bummer.
And Robin as a character, I never liked anyway.
Yeah.
But then after the whole Spike got a soul, and he's like, "Oh, I don't care." It just because
it was really good up until that moment. I loved when I don't want to give it away, or because if I talk about it too, this is a divisive issue. But she goes and talks to Spike and is like, "Can you be here with me?" And it's this really nice moment. And then we learn some other stuff that kind of negates the whole point of that, which is kind of weird. But I loved up until that. I really liked it.
I'm with you.
I thought it was a very interesting thing to do, even though I'm iffy about the pregnancy storylines sometimes, the way that they're done. It always feels like it's used in and not always, but the way it has been used, I tend to have this visceral reaction when I see it. It's like, oh, this female lead is pregnant. And you're like, okay, you just ran out of stuff to do.
Right. Yeah, and it ends up, we don't have to ruin that part, but it's not what everybody thinks it is, not what she thinks it is. But there were some good conversations that came of that.
Yeah.
And some good character moments. But then it was like, oh yeah, there's no reason to ever have done that because... yeah.
And there was a good romance part there. It was small. And it didn't really amount to anything. But with her and Spike, there's a good kind of back and forth where she's like, "I didn't know you were still in love with me." And I'm like, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, come on, girl. Everyone knows.
I was like, this man loves you more
forever.
than anything. And he, it's that usual, he's just like, I can't be around you, just be on the sidelines and just
I mean, this dude
Watching
didn't need his soul to love her. Come on now.
I know. And we're
Right?
still, how dare you doubt this man who
Yeah.
loves you more than anything? And then later, in his own little like thing on the spaceship, when that girl's like, hey, but
Yeah.
he's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, which totally could have happened. And, but he's like, I didn't. And she's all about him. Yeah, which, by the way, Spike in the bug ship, I mean, I love it so much. Those bugs.
I love those
I
bugs.
felt for all of them. They were
Man,
so funny.
it was good.
It was great.
Even and when the whole bug thing first happened in the comics, I was like, I don't know about this. Spoiler. So Spike ends up on a spaceship with bugs.
He's like the king of the bugs. These like
Now-
big, like human-sized bugs. Which is it's great. It worked out great, I think.
The thing, like when they had to do like the hey, Spike, it's going to be so many hours until we can get you back to Earth, and so he just kind of gets used to life there. I love that whole part.
Yeah.
Like him reading them prose and also taking care of the babies and chaperoning the dance.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then at this point we ran into
so
it like
cute.
an erotic ship or something, like comfort ladies almost, like they're ladybugs, and he just chaperoned the dance.
It was so funny. It felt
Oh,
like it again just felt like a thing that would happen on the show. Like it was perfect.
That's so good. They got a lot of backlash because it had been praised for how they were dealing with that issue, but then that happened.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Have either of you ordered from cheap graphic novels? If so, how is the packaging? I haven't ordered from them, but I have received books from them. I've been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with the packaging.
I've ordered from them. I tried not to order from them personally. I much prefer IST's packaging. I've heard this has happened to a lot of other people too. Like, I've gotten stuff that came fine, but it's all like newspapers and literal bags, like plastic bags. Was I think the last thing I got, and I was like, oh, interesting. Again, it came okay, but not my preference. Your book should come fine. That's what I think. If you're going to order from there.
Can we talk about when the bugs get bitten by a zombie?
Yeah. I love the bugs. I just love the bugs. And I'm sad about what happened to the bugs.
I just love that he named them all.
He named every one of them. They didn't have names. And then they took on the names that he gave them, which was awesome.
Very cute. So, we definitely have to talk about Illyria.
Showing up in the Buffy-verse. Yeah.
Showing up in Buffy.
That's
out
awesome.
of nowhere.
Yeah, didn't expect it.
Because I wasn't even thinking about her, and then she showed up, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, she's up there. Yeah.
Oh, man, because she still had her powers. So, like, all the Buffy people that were in the universe that still had some semblance of magical power got together to take care of, basically endgame stuff, which I'm not going to spoil that for you, but so great to see her. And they had a really interesting dynamic,
yeah,
I didn't realize that, like, it didn't occur to me until they met in there that they'd never met, which makes sense, but it didn't.
Well, those universes are such like together in our heads, so we're like, oh yeah, everybody knows everybody, but not so much.
No.
Yeah, those just great moments. So if you guys are Illyria fans, you're in for a treat.
Very good. And we got to learn a little bit more about her that I hope that they touch more on next season. I really hope this isn't the end of us with Illyria, because there's a moment where basically something happens and like all of her, what she is basically sucked out, minus like her personality, because she's still Illyria, not Fred, but she looks like Fred because like all the blue stuff.
Yeah, gone. Yeah.
And she's like, I should be dead. So there's something else keeping me alive. This vessel I'm in should be dead. So there's something else. And I'm dying to know about it.
Yeah, I feel like I can't remember if that comes back or not, but
oh man, I'll be so sad
out
if it doesn't.
Oh, Hayden's reminding us of Billy the Vampire Slayer. He was wonderful. There was like a whole dedicated issue or two, maybe a few. Were there 4?
There were like, I feel like there were.
And then he comes
4.
back.
Yeah.
It may have been 4. It was an arc. But we get to see this kid Billy. He's a teenager, and he has swoopy. How they put it in the back of the library edition, Bieber hair. I don't know if you saw that, but during the sketches, they were like Bieber swoop. It's like, yeah, okay. But Billy was awesome. He wanted to be a Slayer, but he's like, I'm a boy. Slayers are girls, but I want to train and be a Slayer. And this guy he likes was like, I'll be your watcher. And they team up and they slay vampires. And eventually, like, at the end, thankfully, like, Buffy's like, yeah, come help us. And Billy becomes part of the team. I loved it.
It was very cute. And I'm glad that he, like, because I thought it was going to be just on its own. But he does actually, like, join in and help out later. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's a great moment. I won't ruin that, but you know what I'm talking about. There's a great moment with Billy, and you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, what does this mean, right? Yeah. That's good.
So, as we learned the last time we talked about this, Chris and I both double dipped without realizing it.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah.
But this Willow trade is collected in here. Because there's a whole just Willow-centric arc, which is great, where she's going on her own to try to bring magic back to the world, which is wonderful. And it's filled with Willow adventuring in this like other magical realm, and it has a cameo of her like spiritual guide from season 8. Which I love, and I'm glad we got more time with that too, because there's definitely like a real serious relationship in there.
Yeah, totally.
At least on that the guides part.
Yeah, something we find out more of throughout the Willow Wonderland arc, where you're like, oh, it's way more serious than we realized. And
just following through all of this experience with Willow is really, really cool as well. Because it kind of culminates in something in the end in a very interesting way that I was excited to see. And it's also interesting reading this, having read Frey, and also like the especially that like arc with Frey that was in Buffy, where you kind of know what's going to happen to Willow back in the end.
Yeah.
And so like at the end of her life at least. And so it's like, oh, where's this going? Willow and her like power,
Yeah, it was really great. I don't know, is that trade easy to find? Is it also hard to find?
I don't know.
We're like, let's look it up. I'm just curious because
I was picking up everything else.
Well, if you guys ever see Willow Wonderland at Comic Shop, I feel like that's it's connected to the season, but it's a nice standalone. Like you'll have a good time, I think.
ST.
Amazon has it for $35.
That's not bad. I mean, comparatively.
I mean, Oh, there's some used and new for less than 20.
I shouldn't type in Willow. I should type in Willow.
You can get it for less than 20, it looks like.
Okay.
Or around 20, if you really wanted. So that's one thing that's kind of accessible. But I'm sure you can get that cheaper digitally. Could be on Comixology Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. But yeah, that was a really great arc. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I won't touch on it.
It's hard. I feel like some people watching this haven't read it, but maybe want to. Otherwise, I'm not sure why they're watching, right? So we want to throw in little bits, but because there's one thing at the end of Angel we would love to talk about, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to leave that one, though.
We'll have to talk about it next time, but
yeah,
right now, probably not.
Yeah, and I didn't, I knew that was coming eventually, I guess, but I didn't realize it was coming so soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't exactly realize it was going to go down like that, because I have the trade.
Yeah.
The Giles trade, which obviously spoils some of this, but I didn't realize this was going to happen now. I thought maybe there was going to be a fluke or something and that would happen, but no.
Mm-hmm. No, they were just immediately like, here we go.
It's like, okay, so we're going to deal with this forever now. Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
Which, that was a thing. If you guys have read it, you know what we're talking about. Sorry if you haven't. But that was a thing that I feel like they could have done in the show, but it would have push someone out of the show that I would have hated. You know what I mean? So they couldn't have really done it to my liking.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a comic thing that would have been like, oh, I think I would have hated this in the show.
Yeah.
But I love it in the comic.
Oh yeah.
Very
I would have hated
interesting
the
in
show.
the comic, yeah.
But man, I wish I could. There's some scenes in here that I wish I could hear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's one of them. Like same
Yeah.
with the Drusilla stuff. Like I just want
That's
to
true.
hear them saying these lines. Oh man. I want to know. I do want to talk about. I was a little confused in the party arc at the beginning of Buffy season 9. There was some stuff that happened in there that I don't feel like was really answered, and I was very confused. And maybe I just missed it. But there's this weird scene between her and Xander that I didn't quite get. I thought she was in the room with Xander talking to him.
Oh.
It kind of alluded that something happened, and I was very weirded out. Can we talk about that?
You know what? I didn't even remember it until right now. Because, that was the first thing, obviously, we read.
Yeah.
You're right. Let me find that moment, because I don't think it was ever addressed, was it?
No.
Again.
None of that stuff really was. Because Buffy still did things that we didn't see.
Yeah.
So, because we don't even really know what happened between her and Riley in the van either.
Yeah. Wait, you're right.
Right? Yeah.
Hayden, are we wrong? I feel like if anyone knows the answers, it's Hayden.
I don't think that was ever addressed.
I think you're
they
right.
left it open, probably because they probably, when the pregnancy thing happened, maybe they had a plan and had to change it. I wonder, because I feel like it was leading to a situation where she was going to have to talk to these dudes and didn't. Because there's a scene between her and Xander, which is weird.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it was addressed.
She had her hand on him, and I looked over this panel a few times, and she's like, let's talk about this. He's like, oh, I don't know. And she says something like Donnie, and man, what is it? It's gonna kill me. It's gonna bother me.
I know. I was trying to find the exact page, but
which one is my season? Oh wait, this says on. No, it doesn't. Let me just awkwardly do this while we have the show going.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. She does say it to him at the beginning, like the beginning of the issue. So this isn't really a spoiler. It's the beginning of the season. Thanks for being first, to Xander. I know you hate being first. You want to see my bedroom. Okay. So he goes to see her bedroom at some point, right?
And Dawn's in the other room.
Yeah. Buffy's very drunk.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Okay, I've got to open now too.
Because it's skipping around a lot, so that's what's throwing me off.
Yeah. Well, shit, I don't even know. I took all the dust jackets off, so.
Yeah, okay. Hey, you want to talk about it? Nobody will miss us. We got a few minutes. Then let's use that few minutes to not talk about it. That's what Xander says. And she goes, Donnie. And he goes, never has to know. Yeah, they never come back to that.
No.
I don't like it.
That's weird. And then
I
there's
don't
another
like
part
it.
where she was talking to Riley, and she was like having a flashback to it. She's like, did I hit on a married man?
Yeah.
It was weird. And they never address it. We know how the night ends up, but we don't know what happens there. Very weird.
It makes you wonder if, with the whole pregnancy thing, because, she thinks she's pregnant. She doesn't know who the dad would have been, right? Yeah. Maybe they're just they were trying to tease everyone.
Maybe.
For no reason, and then never go back to it. But that's real weird.
I don't know. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Because I was thinking, I was like, what the hell happened? I feel better.
Well, and then after that, Xander's crashing on the couch. Right?
Yeah, and they don't talk about that either. Because there's this, Buffy goes over to go sleep on the couch. Because she's been doing that kind of off and on, sleeping on Xander and Dawn's couch. And, she gets there and the couch is made up. She's like, oh, you guys made up for me. And they're like, no, Xander's been sleeping on the couch. So something was going on, and I don't know. Yeah, maybe Elliot's right. Maybe it's just red herrings. Maybe they just wanted people to like to try and
Be
give us
like,
some drama
oh,
at the beginning so people would keep
right.
buying it.
Yeah. It's annoying though.
I don't know. Let me actually look at the comments. What's our least favorite Buffy season?
1.
I don't
That's
know if
my easy answer.
I don't think I have a least favorite. I'm sure
If I had to
do,
pick, it would be
but
1. I think they get better
I
from
can
there.
focus on one. I have a least favorite Angel season, for sure, as we all should.
Yeah.
The garbage Cordelia pregnant with Angel's son baby season.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
I still can't believe they did that. Oh my
god. But yeah, I mean, I still love Buffy season 1. I just think they all got better from there.
Oh yeah.
And also there were less episodes than the rest, so it's easy for me to say 1.
Great statement. I love Dark. Chris, you should watch it. It's so good. Everyone should watch Dark on Netflix.
Oh, that's my list.
It's a German show. But man, it's such a good like mystery. It's the kind of show that I can't even talk to you about because it could spoil something. And I don't want to spoil any of it. It's so good. The it that they're talking about is a flashback from the later issue that takes place after she destroyed the seed.
I'm confused. Sorry, Hayden.
Oh, but when does Xander become a Dracula slave? I've been curious for a few months if that happened in the comic book series. That was in the comic book series, but was it not also in the show at some point, or was that just?
Yeah, it was in the show, and then they addressed it in season 8.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was in the show. That was in season 4, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 4? I think it may have been 4.
Worst hookup, Cordy and Connor or Xander and Dawn? Cordy and Connor.
Cordy and Connor forever and ever and ever. Xander and Dawn in the seasons, actually, I like it. Like, there's nothing weird about it.
It was fine this season.
Yeah.
It felt weird at first. I've come around on it. It makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean,
it makes sense.
They teased it in season 7. You know, Xander gave her that big during Potential, the end of Potential, which I love that episode, where Dawn thinks she's a potential slayer, and she's not. At the end, she's very sad about it, and Xander gives her this big whole speech, and it's very clear. So I was not surprised when they went there.
Yeah, but Cordy and Connor's garbage.
Garbage in every way, and disgusting.
Oh, God. Everything.
So gross, and not okay.
Oh, my gosh. It just still makes me so angry because Angel was so good. And then that season happened. I don't even know what they were thinking.
I know.
And I'll never get over it. That beautiful dream sequence with Angel and Cordy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it was perfect. And my heart was all aflutter.
Yeah.
And then they ruined it. All to bring Angelus out. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we never had that moment with them ever again.
I'm forever heartbroken about it. I really am.
I loved them. This couple that I would have never put together.
Ever. Yeah.
Ever in a million years. Even at the beginning of the show, I was like...
Right. Same.
Once it started, they were so
It
good.
Made so much sense.
And I just want Cordy to be back and not be powers that be and be with Angel.
Yep, I'm with you.
Man.
I'm forever sad about it.
I know. Breaks my heart.
I blame Connor for everything.
I know.
They never should have brought Connor into the mess.
No, and he was so weird.
Yeah.
He's better at the last season, and he's better in the comic, but he was so weird.
Angel and Faith season 9, just good in. The rest of it, no.
Man. Do you think there would be a reunion series for Buffy in the future? I don't think there would ever be a series, but I would not be surprised with how media is now, with the way fandom is now. I wouldn't be surprised if, we could someday have something like Kristin said, have a Veronica Mars situation where the fans would kickstart a movie or
I
something.
think they could totally make it work and make it happen, and people want it.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It would make a lot of money.
every time
honestly.
James, for instance, James Marsters, who plays Spike, is asked about this, he's like, "I've aged too much." But it's just like you said, there's technology; it doesn't matter. In fact, they can get around that too. They can, hey, maybe magic is gone and vampires are aging. I mean, they could make something up,
Well,
right?
yeah, we could have like an old man Logan
Yeah,
situation.
they can make it work.
I'd be fine with that, honestly.
But
yeah, again, a deep fake is a thing. I mean, they've done it in the Star Wars movies. They've done it in like Tron. They do it in all sorts of things now, and it looks really good. They did that in Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
and honestly, they did so well. I didn't realize they were doing it so well.
yeah. I mean, so much. Yeah, they could totally do it now. I think maybe before we see that, though, we will eventually see a Buffy reboot if it doesn't keep getting pushbacked or like canceled, and with a diverse Slayer. I think that's what we're going to see before something like that, unfortunately, because I do want a Buffy movie and reunion, but I would like to see a modern Slayer retelling. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, and I'm totally
with
open.
a different, not the same, not a Buffy, but like a different Slayer in that universe would be awesome, and I think everybody's behind that and they're on board. And then you could bring back some like characters that we know. That'd be cool.
Oh, I would love that.
That would be awesome.
And I think that would be a smart way to do it.
This is one universe that can do that, right? Because now we have all these Slayers, and we know that at the end, right? So they could do it really well. As long as they don't call her Buffy, nobody's going to be upset, right?
If you decide just to do a full remake with different people for Buffy, which I absolutely want a diverse cast, but I also know that fans, being as they are, would very likely be very upset in that case.
Well, and this is one thing you don't have to do that with, right?
No.
So there's really no reason to don't make the fans upset. Make it in the same universe. There's been tons and tons of comics and novels about different Slayers. People are interested in this, And
if you want, you could still have it be, kind of somewhat canon, but do it in a way that takes out the end of Buffy. So you don't have to worry about the whole huge Buffy, like all Slayer complication. And that way you still get that sort of like, I'm a Slayer, but it's secret and I'm in high school feel, and have it still be related. And that would be really cool.
Yeah, they can totally do that. That would be awesome.
Okay, good. I think the showrunner said it's going to be a new Slayer story.
Yeah, they did, but I feel like it keeps not happening. Because I feel like we've been talking about this forever. So hopefully it comes out.
Do you think it would have been better if they did Angel season 5 and After the Fall instead of season 4?
Oh, but After the Fall is garbage. Also, I love season 5. So I would have just liked more season 5. That'd be great.
Still, I love the Boom series. I'm still really happy with it.
It's great.
And Drew, to comment on that, I think, the Boom series with the reboot does a really good job of bringing in social media and modern technology in a way that makes sense for that. Like, I was really pleased with how they did it. It makes a lot of sense, especially with Cordy.
Well, even I'll say in Buffy season 9 and Angel and Faith season 9, there's a point where Angel and Spike had a big fight. And by the way, hilarious jokes about their bromance throughout the whole thing, of course, from side characters. But Spike helps Angel out of a funk, basically. And Angel doesn't say sorry. He's never going to do that. But then he texts Spike, and Spike looks at the phone. He's like, "Did you just text me?" And Angel's like, "Yeah, it's not going to happen again." And he said, "I'm sorry," or something, or "thank you," or something like that. I think he said thank you. But it was so good. And what a great use of technology from someone who would never want to use it anyway, right? But kind of probably had to.
And such an Angel way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you guys, this was just
great.
So good. Like, so often, these shows end and we never really feel closure. We never really feel like we miss it, right? We don't have anything else. Man, these comics, it's been a rough time for everyone. And digging into these has made me so happy.
Me too. Like, I wanted to keep going, but then I was like, oh, I'm going to forget what season's what.
Yeah, I want to
so
save
I stopped.
it. But it's like comfort food.
Yeah,
it's like that.
It
It's
made
like
me happy too.
a hot cup of tea, and like a nice like rainy day outside. Like that's how it felt getting back in these. It just felt like seeing family and friends.
Yeah.
And which sounds like a totally like cheesy way to talk about it, but honestly, that's how I feel with these. Oh.
It's so true. I will say again, so we loved Angel and Faith Season 9 and Buffy Season 9. Guys, we have these library editions. And if you can get your hands on them for a good price, obviously do that. If you have them, great. I will say, though, if you don't want to fork out all your money, which maybe now you shouldn't, right? Comixology Unlimited, I think has. I should have checked this.
Here, I'll pull it up while you talk about it.
But Comixology on its own, you can buy the series there. It is 100% worth it if you haven't read any of the seasons. If you only read season 8, it gets better in season 9. Mm-hmm. Go back to your favorite characters now more than ever. If you're a big Buffy fan, these are 100% what you need to be reading to make yourself happy if you haven't. So we highly recommend it.
I don't see the Dark Horse Buffy stuff on Comixology.
Really?
Yeah, I only see the Boom stuff.
Well,
what's that about? Oh no.
Well, they used to be on there, didn't they?
Yeah, so...
Well, guys, I'm sorry. I think I steered you wrong.
Oh, no. Yeah, because we didn't tell everybody to come read it on Comixology.
Well, maybe it's a rights thing. That would kind of make sense, I guess.
Yeah, I'm checking Angel now. Angel After the Fall.
Oh.
So it must be the Dark Horse stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Which we didn't even think about, did we?
No.
Well, guys, we're sorry. Maybe you can pick up the trades for a decent price, especially when your local comic shop's open, or if they're doing curbside. Call them up, be like, yo, I'm looking for these trades. I need these trades. Maybe they'll have them. I've seen them on a lot of shelves after they went out of print. So maybe your local store has them and you can read them and love them.
Yeah.
Although I will say, this makes me definitely think. I already thought Boom is going to... We don't know anything. We have not heard anything for sure. I do think Boom will eventually reprint these.
I do too.
I think they're going to reprint them in their own libraries too. That's just my thought. I don't know anything. I don't have Boom contacts. I wish I did. I know nothing. But I would only assume, since they made their own library edition of a season we never got, why wouldn't they go back and be like, let's get them on the shelves of the people who, they obviously have the rights.
And I'd be happy if they did it either with like a library edition or did it as a legacy. I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
I've been pretty happy with like the quality of the legacy edition. It's just paperback. And I know a lot of people have preference for hardcover. I don't care as long as it's a good feel.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
And I love library editions. I love the open
think since they made a library edition,
I hope they do.
They would. I assume they would make more. So it's a smart business decision, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. We hope they'll reprint it in some fashion. They do have the rights, so.
I hope so.
Until then,
I want everyone to read it.
Pick up the legacy editions, which you can get at least one. I think the Angel one on InStockTrades.com.
Yes, and the Buffy one has come out now. So Buffy Legacy Volume 1 is out. Angel Legacy Volume 1 is out. I think the second volume of Angel should be out soonish.
Yeah, it's soon. So hopefully, because Diamond is going to start shipping in May, in the middle of May, I think. Maybe end of May.
Yeah.
Hopefully IST will get those by then, because we want you to go to our InStockTrades.com, a great sponsor, and get them there. I am holding off for them because I do not trust other people's shipping. So I'm waiting. I will be buying them when that happens. And if you got, it's the early Dark Horse stuff. It gets a really bad rep, guys. Maybe we will have to do a review on this at some point.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to.
Yeah, it gives reason to, read them. Right. I read all those when I was like a teenager. But that's back when I was, Buffy was on. I was craving more Buffy. So I couldn't tell you right now what I thought about them. I'm sure I enjoyed it, but I like garbage stuff, right? So it's like whatever.
There's no telling. I can tell you all for sure this is good, but I have no idea if those are.
But I will say
them anyways.
Yes. We want to support the legacy editions, so hopefully there is a reprint of the seasons.
Yeah.
So if you guys are just craving more Buffy, those do exist. Can't tell you how they are.
We'll see.
But check out our sponsor, InStockTrades.com.
Yeah.
Get them there. Get great packaging.
We will be back next Sunday. We haven't decided our plan for May yet.
No, but next Sunday will be Halls and Reads, I believe, right?
Yep.
Because it's the first Sunday, so we will show you things and talk about stuff.
Talk about some stuff.
Yeah, if there's anything you guys want us to read and review, we don't currently have a plan, so we will make one soon.
Feel free to send us some suggestions.
Yeah, leave a comment, let us know.
We're in quarantine, so what else are we gonna do? Make sure they're good suggestions.
Don't tell us to read garbage, please.
Yeah.
like after the fall. Don't tell us to do that again. We'll never do it again. They're just gonna sit and look pretty on ourselves. That's it.
I'm never ever reading that again.
Never again.
I sound like a bad consumer. I'm like, no, I have this thing that I'm gonna keep forever, and I'm never gonna read.
That's how a lot of us are.
All right. Well, I hope you all have a good night. We'll see you all next week, and yeah.